Knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone. We're back with a new episode of Enter the Nerdom. I'm here with co-hosts
Stan Warncy.
And I do not endorse this. Watson Bradshaw.
You don't endorse Watson Bradshaw?
I don't endorse anything Chad said prior.
What do you mean?
to-
That's an old...
I don't know why Knick-knack, paddywhack sounded more racist. I don't know.
It's the thing about giving a dog a bone. And I'm Chad Cook. Oh, there it is.
Oh, boy. Obviously.
Oh, okay.
What's up, guys?
Hey, guys. We had a busy weekend.
Yes.
Busy
Busy weekend at the Pasadena Comic Con.
Yeah, we went and hung out with a bunch of people at Pasadena.
Yeah, it was a good experience. We got a booth. We were right next to the sign-in section.
We had such a sweet spot.
Really a sweet spot, and then across from the authenticators.
Yeah, the
GSA.
authenticators.
Yeah.
Big line there.
GSA, right? Is that what they're called?
Yes.
Yeah.
I believe so, yeah.
So yeah, we had a lot of foot traffic. We were at it was a pretty big booth.
Yeah.
We're up against a wall that had no power. Even though I thought we were going to have power, but we didn't.
I know.
And
They were like, bare minimum, you're getting a table.
A table and 2 chairs, and that's it. That's all they provided.
And a couple of nails in the wall.
Yeah, luckily
we got lucky because
those were already there.
Yeah. Did you see that? So there was somebody that came by. Did you see her? And
No.
And she was like looking up at her banner, and I was like, "Hey, how's it going?" Because every time somebody passed by our booth, I'd step out like, "Hey, we're entering Nerdom."
Yeah.
We're raffling off away our items. We did a raffle. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
And she was like staring up at her banner because. So what happened was we got there, and all there was a table, 2 chairs, and that's it.
Yeah.
So I thought there'd at least be some
I
power
thought like
outlets,
someone would come by and be like, "Oh, do you guys need anything?" And I was like,
nothing. No one came by.
Yeah.
They didn't even check us as we went through the main door. Like, so all the vendors got there about 2 hours early.
Yeah.
There was almost no no parking.
Well, they put up the table that we were supposed to check in at after everybody.
So we just rolled in. I was expecting there to be like somebody, "Hey, who are you guys? Okay, here go your badges for your vendor passes." Nothing. So anyway, we set up, and we had a banner, which is awesome. We can see it on our Instagram, and we didn't have anything to hang it up on. I thought there would be some type of
like paper drape or something.
you know, but
anything.
no, it was. But look, we look up, and thankfully somebody had screwed.
Yeah, there was some screws already in the wall. And good thing you got the wall side.
Yeah, right.
You know, if we were in the middle of an aisle, we would have been screwed.
Well, and I think that's why they charged. So this was like we were like at the premium spots, quote unquote. It's $170, and but I thought because we were paying a much higher price that we would be afforded a little more infrastructure.
Oh no!
It wasn't anything like that. But so anyway, we set our banner up, and somebody came by, and young woman, and she was like staring up at her banner, and I stepped out to do our pitch, and hey, we're into the Nerdom, and she's like, "Oh yeah, no, I work for the venue or the event, I think," she said. And she's staring up, and I was like, "Oh, she's probably like, did these motherfuckers screw, stuff into the wall?" And
right.
I was waiting for her to say something. Did you guys do that? Like,
sense.
no, we didn't do that.
Yeah.
So, but it just so happened that those screws were just at our spot.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody else had them.
No.
Which was
I mean, most people against the
fortunate.
wall had like a shelf that they put up.
Yeah, well, there was a lot of professionals who do cons.
Yeah, you can tell they're not a lot of old hat people, and they go con to con.
So our neighbors were. I don't know. They were selling some kind of plastic, like tabs or something. I don't know what the hell it was. Anyway, it was some type of vendor, and they had their infrastructure. They had like a little pop-up tent and some stuff to hang things off of, and they had their banner too. So, but I think ours looked better. So we brought a bunch of tables. We brought a bunch of chairs. We set up some of our nerd stuff. Yeah. Watson, what'd you bring?
I brought the Proton Pack.
Yeah.
And Chad brought...
What kind of Proton Pack, though?
Oh, the HasLab Pack, which is the Afterlife
Premium.
Pack. Yeah. Which has all the bells and whistles and bloops and bleeps.
And I brought my NECA Ed 209.
So cool. Sick.
And my...
which got a lot of
people
love.
Were asking about
it. Yeah.
A lot of people were like,
really like that one.
Check out the 209.
Yeah.
And then I had my 1/6 giant shredder from the 90s Turtles movie. That's awesome NECA as well.
Great.
And then Stan brought...
Yeah, I brought the Infinity Gauntlet, the movable one. Like, I think it was like a Target exclusive a couple years ago. You actually put your hand in it and move the fingers around.
Everyone wanted to see that thing.
Yeah, you want to see it. And it makes it lights up and it makes sound effects. And then I brought my Batman bust that I have. which just had the shoulders and head of Batman, and
It was busted.
and so we put
You
that
keep
up
the
against
legs and
Batman.
ass at home.
But yeah, people were asking about your pack too. You know, a lot of people were.
Yeah, a lot of people like the pack. And just today, actually, Hasbro announced they're going to put out the 1984 Proton gun, the wand. You know, they're going to put
Neutron
that
wand.
Yeah, so they're putting out the OG 84 looking one, which a lot of people are going like they probably will put out an 84 pack as well.
Like, son of a bitch.
I mean, it's pretty much the same mold. I mean, it's
It is. I mean,
don't age it up. You know, like the
yeah.
I like the afterlife look.
No, yeah.
So I dig that old school. I know some people would probably want that original look though.
I mean, you just remove a couple paint marked things from it. And
Different sticker. I mean, even the pack that came before the HasLab pack came with 84 stickers.
Yeah.
So you can change out the stickers, and it's got the sound effects already built in.
Yeah.
So it has the 84 switch in there. So it's, I mean, for them, it's when you think about it, it's really easy for them to make an 84 pack.
Pretty much. Yeah.
So can you explain what do you mean by 84? And,
So
and Afterlife?
So the original Proton pack, the look from the 84 movie, 1984. You know, the one that Vegman, all them carried around. When Afterlife came out, they distressed the packs because they're supposed to be like beat up and like just been in storage for like 20 years. So they have like a distressed look. They have little add-on bits that like Spangler supposedly have like soldered on and stuff like that. And that's the one HasLab put out when that movie came out. And it was a HasLab exclusive. It was only up on their website. You could, it was a short period of time, you could pre-order it. And then once it was done, it was done.
Like Kickstarter.
Yeah, Kickstarter, basically. And, those packs now on the secondary market, I've seen them up for like $1,600, It's something ridiculous, So, so getting them now is hard and pricey. So for Hasbro, I feel like it's a slam dunk for them to reissue. Hey, we're going to do the original pack, and then for the new movie, the Frozen Empire, there's pictures of the packs, and they've even been upgraded again, where they have like yellow details and stuff like that to it. So for them, it's just a real easy thing to put that out if they wanted to,
or just sell like an attachment kit.
Yeah, that's true. They could do that.
Yeah, and then go. I mean, they'll make a killing from there.
Because we'll all buy them because we're nerds and we're like, ooh, another pack.
Well, I'm only gonna I don't have a wand yet.
Right.
I'm probably only gonna get the 1984 one.
Yeah.
I don't think I need the other one really.
But it's like Star Wars and lightsabers, you know. It's like every iteration of Star Wars, they're putting out a different type of lightsaber, right? Because they know it's like, oh, you love, you might love Darth Vader's, or you might like Kylo Ren's, or you might like Luke's, or you might, so they can keep updating it out and and making money basically.
Yeah, but yeah, people were asking about it at the con.
Oh yeah,
it was our items back there were drawing a lot of attention, which I liked.
Yeah.
But then we also had a separate table with our raffle items.
Yeah, so we had some really cool raffle items.
Yeah, really dope raffle
nice.
items. Yeah, we had. Let me look it up real quick here. So we had. So starting from we started with some lower tier prizes, and then went to our grand prize. So the lower tier items were we had a Sylvester stuffed plushie that Chad got from the WB lot because apparently they handed it out at some kind of event.
Yeah, it was like a Christmas event thing. They had a little goodie bag, and I was like, oh, the Sylvester cat would be.
I should have mentioned that during the con when we did the raffle.
That it was that was a WB exclusive.
Yeah. Well, whatever. Then I had a Shankara stone, which was kind of like a smaller scale of it. Not the it wasn't the size of the ones in the movie, but it did light up
from Temple of Doom.
Yeah, exactly.
Kalima.
Yeah, and I think the person who won it, she didn't know what it was.
She had no idea what it was.
Yeah, I didn't hear that.
She looked like I was so funny because she won it, and we took pictures, and she was super happy, and then she turned to her friend going, "What is this?" And she was like, "Oh, it's Indiana Jones." And she was like, "Oh."
Yeah, she was probably in her 20s. Yeah. Now she's probably gonna watch that movie.
Right.
And
now she'll go out and watch it, and she'll be like, "Oh,
should have got some Dial of Destiny stuff to get out."
I know, right?
I mean, if anything, that I think an added thing to that would be a nice like little satchel, and then it goes like in the movie, where it holds the stones.
Or Indy's hat.
And I mean, Indy's hat with the stone.
If I had, I got a little statue of the idol from from Raiders of the Lost Ark up here, and it would have been cool if I'd held that up and everybody just gets down. So the convention was centered around it's a comic, it's a toy convention, but it was centered around Bleach, the anime.
Yeah, the anime, because they had the whole cast there
was like
doing a signing.
But unfortunately, none of us here knows that much about Bleach, the anime.
Nope, it just takes out stains.
Yep. So that's But we had a couple of things related to Bleach because we figured some people were going to be fans of it. That didn't seem like a lot of people were, but whatever.
No, I think from what I heard, most of the people were there excited because of the Power Rangers.
Yeah.
And
we'll talk about them.
Yeah.
And then so we had a Bleach pop figure which we gave out. These are starting again lower tier prizes. We had a Ghostbusters Ecto 1 model kit, which people were like kind of interested in.
Yeah, people wanted to look at that one.
Yeah,
it was like ooh, Ecto 1.
I think they kind of felt it was maybe like a figure, but it was well, I mean it's a model
like
kit,
a metal,
metal, it's like a metal kind of and then we had a set of Batman pop figures. It was Batman and Catwoman, and then we had a Porg pop and a Star Wars Lego set, which is pretty cool. It was like
everyone loved the Legos.
Everybody was into. Everybody really wanted the
Legos.
Legos
Is so hot. It's crazy.
I figured they were gonna be. That's why I told Chad. I was like, pick up that Lego set, man. But Star Wars Lego set. We can pair them together. Yeah. Then we had Last Ronin action figure from
the people love that
Turtles.
too.
Yeah, people were really interested in that. It's a popular figure, so I wasn't surprised. Then Watson donated a Gwen Stacy figure.
Yeah,
which is it's a pretty good figure. I like it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah,
so some people were like, I want that one.
Yeah. Good. Yeah.
And then we had an actual Bleach figure that Watson also picked up at Target, I believe. You saw?
The Bleach statuette thing. Yeah.
So
of a character.
I already forgot his name. The main character. Both figures were him.
Yeah.
Anyway, the main figure from Bleach. Then our grand prize, which was the Mando helmet. Mandalorian helmet. It was a Disney Star Wars Black Series
life-size helmet
for the Mandalorian, and people really wanted that.
I mean, that thing.
I got it because I figured people were we needed to have a big grand prize.
Yeah.
The smaller prize we could give a pair of socks. People were like whatever, dude.
Yeah. People like free things.
Yeah, but they wanted that's what they were going to come back for was the grand prize, which is, and we got a lot of people come back, and it was so crazy because we had, obviously it was a raffle draw, so we had raffle tickets for getting away. And what we were doing is we were giving away a ticket for each follow that we got on our social media. So we had QR codes linked to our Instagram, linked to our Spotify, linked to Apple Podcasts.
Yep. And
then we're telling people to go to YouTube and Twitter if they also wanted to follow us on there and they get a ticket. So people get theoretically up to 5 tickets.
Yeah.
Most people just did the Spotify and Instagram thing, but but we just wanted to build up our follower base doing that. So that's how we
We got some YouTube love as well.
Yeah, we got a couple. Yeah, we got some love on that. And so people were, following us for a ticket, and then we told them the raffle's at 3. Come back. You have to be here to. Yeah, that was a big thing of ours.
If you
have
want
to be
win,
here.
You have to be here.
Yeah, you got to be here. Because
we weren't taking anyone's information.
Exactly. Like, get the hell out of here.
Like they better have that ticket.
Mostly, what I want. One of the reasons I wanted to do that is because I wanted to have that crowd.
Yeah.
But then I started getting worried because we gave over like 120 tickets. I think close to like 130. So I was getting nervous.
That bowl was getting pretty full.
I got nervous because where we were at, there wasn't a ton of separation between us and the booth across from us. There was maybe 12 feet, something like that. There wasn't a ton of space.
And I remember it was getting close to, it was like 2:45 and there wasn't anyone hanging out.
And I was like,
and we're like, is anyone going to show up?
So my 2 biggest fears were no one shows up or we have an overabundance of people and it becomes like an issue with the convention.
Right.
And like, what are you guys doing? You got 130 people out here.
Luckily, it didn't never get that bad.
It never got that bad, luckily.
Yeah.
But because we didn't have any kind of corralling system, we were just kind of like, let's just, whoever shows up, shows up. But
playing it fast and loose.
Yeah, man. And around like 55, that's when we started getting the crowd.
People started just like slowly coming over.
How many people do you think we had?
I think probably around 40.
I think.
I'd say 30 to 40.
I mean, it was a nice sized crowd.
Yeah,
they were all, and everything was, they were super cool about hanging out where they were. They weren't in anyone's way.
Right.
None of the other booths were mad.
Yeah. It brings attention to them as well.
Exactly. And it got a little stressful
Yeah.
getting those prizes out.
You know what I
there.
just realized? We never told any of our neighbors. Oh, by the way, we're having raffle 3. Just let you know. I just now realized
Well,
that.
they figured it out.
Yeah, they did. So at round 3, we had everybody there, and then that's when we started. And the Mandalorian helmet was funny because we had a couple of the other prizes. Nobody claimed. Whoever got the ticket didn't show up.
Yeah.
But for the Mandalorian, which everybody started getting really antsy for it, as soon as Watson held it above his head, I stood on a chair and we had a loudspeaker, and I'm up there reading off the tickets. And,
well, we'll call it a speaker, not a loudspeaker. It was a little quiet.
Yeah, it wasn't great. It wasn't.
I think you could have yelled fast.
Yeah, probably. But my voice was already pretty shot by the end of the day.
I know.
Because everybody was walking by, I was pitching. I was like, hey, this is where we are. Yeah.
I was so hoarse by the time I got home.
And it was already really loud in there, so you had to kind of raise your voice. We weren't shouting as much as I thought we were, though, luckily. We just kind of had to raise our voice. But that was it. But anyhow, so we start the raffle prize and call the first ticket. Going once, going twice, nobody, gone. Everybody's like, yeah. We were cheering. Call the second one, nothing. The third one,
but it was all like low numbers.
Low numbers, exactly.
So it was everyone from like the beginning of the day, who probably left early, who weren't coming back at 3,
right?
And it was just like every ticket you pulled was like 001, 002, and everyone was like, "Come on!"
So by the 4th ticket, that's when people started getting into it. So it'd be like 0, and a section of the crowd would be like, oh,
yeah.
1, and then the other section of the crowd, oh, 4th ticket, nothing. Nobody claimed it. And finally we get to the 5th ticket. The 5th ticket, all right, here we go. 1, oh, and the other crowd's like, but the section of the crowd's like, yeah, you're cheering. Call the number out, you finish it. Who gets the ticket? Our friend Dan.
Oh yeah.
Fan of the show, friend of the show. He calls it. He's like, oh, I got it. So we're both kind of just
we're already
laughing.
like expecting everyone to scream that it's been rigged.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a plant.
But luckily he goes, it's okay. Just you can move on. I don't want it.
Yeah.
So we say, okay, hey, thanks a lot, Dan. Friend of the show, appreciate it. So we move on. You go to the 6th ticket. Same thing. Call it nothing.
This thing lasted longer than every other prize.
And again, so now people are really into it on the 6th one.
Yeah.
So I'm calling. I say 1. Oh, people cheering, and I say 0. Oh, and nothing. 6th ticket, nothing. So finally, we pick up another ticket, call that one out, and who gets it? Another friend of mine, another Sam.
Yeah.
Who happened to just show up and just came with his family and was like, hey, yeah, let's jumped in the ticket, jumped in the queue, gave us a follow, and he won. It was pretty crazy.
That's the luck of the draw right there.
Exactly, yeah.
But everyone was in on it. I mean, everyone was in terms of like they felt that energy, I feel like no one left like mad at us or anything like that.
No, and I think people were really enjoying the process.
Yeah,
it got really
and we did have video of that. I don't know if we've posted that video yet.
I posted.
There's been clips of just like a quick one.
I posted that on our stories, but we'll get the rest of it on our social media. The majority of the stuff that we got that day, and it was. There was people. You could feel the tension because people were like anticipating it and hoping they would win. And so I think we gave people a good amount of suspense for that. So, but we got a good amount of followers. What I wanted to talk about.
Here we go.
All
right, here we go.
As far as I know so far, let me double check our Instagram here. Were the 12 people from my count who followed us the day of and then unfollowed us.
Yeah.
Like the next day, oh no, it's 13 now because we're at 175. We were 176 last time I checked. We were either I think it was like 191, 192, something like that. So whatever 175 plus 13 is. That's how many followers we've lost since that day.
I mean,
come on, guys.
I knew there was going to be a drop.
Yeah, I knew that too, but I thought it'd be like maybe half a dozen. Come on, guys.
Well, no, but if you think about it, some of those people were kids who, went on their thing, and they're obviously like, oh, I'm probably never going to listen to it. I'm going to unfollow.
It doesn't matter. Dude. It doesn't matter. We gave you free water and free candy. We also had free waters. We had these mini bottles.
Those waters went quick.
Yeah. So we had these mini bottles of water because we wanted to do a water station because we knew that Dan suggested that would attract
Which
people.
was actually the smartest thing to do because the water fountains did not work.
Yeah, they were out of order.
Yeah.
So we probably saved some because we gave it to a lot of the older people that were there.
Once we set up, you came by and you're like, hey, the water fountains are out. We're like, oh, that's yeah. I was like, oh, well, that's okay. That looks good for us.
Yeah.
And so I took these miniature bottles that that I got, and we put our sticker Enter the Nerdom on it, and then we displayed him with the sign we had saying free water.
Advertising. Get that name out there, baby.
Exactly. And people were just coming by like, can I get water? Can I water? Yeah. So we were pretty popular at that point. Yeah. And we also had, I had a bunch of Christmas candy left over. And then my girlfriend Julie bought a bunch after Target put it on sale after the holidays. So I had a ton of Christmas candy, so we just put bowls of it out.
Yep.
And we had a bowl of pins with the Enter logo, Enter the Nerdom logo on it. So yeah, people were coming by and they were stopping by. They were grabbing candy, they were grabbing water, pins, and just
that low blood sugar.
Exactly.
Yeah, and yet again, like being close to the signing booths, I think really helped with that. With I feel like if we were in the middle somewhere, we would have been lost in the crowd.
Yeah, drowned out a bit.
Yeah, exactly.
So like having that kind of area was spot on, man. It was a great location.
Yeah, it was fun. That's why I shot for the higher tier, because I didn't know. When I first bought the vendor spot, I didn't know where we were going to be placed necessarily. It didn't allow you to pick your location. It just show the locations of where so we're up against the wall. So that was the green section. So that was like the higher tier ones. That's the most pricey one. So I was like, I don't know why those are more priced than the ones by the door, because I thought the ones by the door would be the most.
Right,
you'd think. But they weren't. They were like middle. They were like under that. So I was like, okay, whatever. So I got it. I was like, maybe it's a bigger spot. There's got to be some reason why they're charging more for that. So I just got it. But we ended up really close to the signing booths and right across from JSA, the authenticator people. By chance, I'm assuming I didn't choose that spot.
Yeah, so we couldn't see on the layout of.
Where everything was.
So.
I mean, we didn't find out what booth we had till almost like a week before.
Or not even, I think like 5 days before.
Yeah, so it was really like, where are we going to be? What's going on?
Right.
So, but...
so we went back and picked up some things, and they had finally set up the table, and they had a stack of donuts and drinks and stuff like that.
Oh,
and Watson just goes by. He's like, "Yeah, I'm crew. I do this. I know where the donuts are at." And he just grabs a donut and walks off.
Hell yeah! You're gonna charge us for a booth? We're gonna take a donut. Damn right.
God damn right. Yeah, I took 2 donuts later on. Yeah. But we had an experience in the parking lot when we first got there. So we're looking for a parking spot, because apparently they had overbooked the parking because there was another event going on the day or something. So we're looking at the Pasadena Convention Center parking. We're driving around.
It was pretty packed.
It was pretty packed. We were able to find a spot, thankfully. But before we did...
and they had all the vendors down on the lower lot.
Right. Yeah. But we passed an older gentleman walking in the parking lot, and Watson's like, "Oh, that's Honky Tonk Man."
Yeah.
And I was like, "What?"
You saw that?
Where?
That hair.
It's hard to miss.
The pompadour. I was looking for a parking. I didn't see it. I don't know how you saw it, because Watson was in the back, and we had the truck was packed. My truck was packed. We had tables in the back.
Squeezed in.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
like toothpaste in
I had
this
a box behind me filled with stuff. We had another box in the back, and the bed. We had all the tables and chairs and the cart that we used and all that shit. And Watson was sitting next to this box, and his proton pack was sitting on top of that. Yep. So the entire section. I don't know how you spotted him.
That pompadour. You see that pompadour from a mile away.
Only one guy can be wearing.
So I rolled down.
He might be 71, but that hair is black as night. Like you're just like, oh man.
So this is early in the morning. It's probably like 8-ish, somewhere around there. 7:38-ish, somewhere around there. When we got there and looked for parking. So I rolled down my window and I was like, "Oh shit, it is Honky Tonk Man." So I rolled down my window. I'm like,
and suddenly we all became like 11 years old. Like, you gotta say something, bro.
You say something. Yeah. I was looking back and I was like, should I say something? Should I say something? And Watson's like, "Yeah, say something." I'm like, okay. So I rolled down. I don't know what I was going to. So I rolled down my window. I'm like, "Hey man, we love you." And he just again, it's pretty early in the morning. So he just looks over at me. He's like,
yeah.
Just keeps
kind of bops his head and.
I
think he was. I just he was coming from the gym or something. He looked like he was in
because he had a gym
bag.
And, he just needed his coffee. So, but it was cool. We had an experience on Honky Tonk.
Yeah.
So we were hoping to get him on the show maybe one day. Honky Tonk Man, if you're listening, come on.
I know.
You're welcome anytime.
I know. I was. The one thing is we were so busy during the course of the day, we didn't really get to experience the con as much.
I didn't.
Yeah. Did you guys walk around?
I walked from a booth to the bathroom and back, and that's it.
Same,
that's all. Much. I didn't go anywhere else.
Yeah. I got to do a little bit of a walk because I got to go. I was picking up food midday. It was like noonish or something, and I was getting hungry, so I was like, all right, let me go grab a bite to eat. And I got to walk around some of the other booths. There was some really cool toy booths there. Obviously, that was kind of like the thing everyone was looking into. Some comic book places as well. I found one booth had a great amount of older toys, stuff from the 80s, 90s, you know, and I picked up a couple of things. I picked up a RoboCop 3 Laserdisc because it was just it was just one thing just sitting there, one disc. It wasn't even like there was a bunch of Laserdiscs there, and it happened to be RoboCop 3. I'm like,
and the reason why we got that is because we have a big announcement. We will be having Fred Decker, the director and writer of RoboCop 3,
yes,
and the director and writer of Monster Squad, and the director and writer of Night of the Creeps. We will be having him on the podcast very soon.
Yeah,
so
it was very serendipitous, exactly. Right? It was just like
we're gonna have him sign a bunch of things like we're like little kids.
Yeah, of course.
You know? So
sign this thing, please. I got a Laserdisc.
I printed out the script.
Yeah.
Can we do a reading here?
Oh my God, that'd be great.
Hilarious.
But what else?
Who are you gonna play?
I'll be
Lewis.
For RoboCop 3?
Or are we doing a Monster Squad?
I mean, it depends. If RoboCop 3, I'll be RoboCop.
There we go.
All right.
Robo wants an Oreo. That's that old story that's been going rounds.
I guess because I'm the only Brit here, I'd have to be that the
bad
rehab guy.
Yeah, rehab. Yeah, the rehab commander. Yeah.
What's that guy's name? What's the character's name?
I don't remember.
Rehab dude.
Stan could be the little little kid.
Yeah,
there
why
we
not?
go.
Yeah, why not? That's cool. I'm
okay with that. She was pretty cool.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah, she hacked everything.
Yeah, she was better than RoboCop.
Can anyone do a CCH Pounder impression?
No, I'm nowhere near. The only guy who could do that is Glenn Howard.
There we go. We gotta have him on just to do that.
Yeah.
Right. And so what else you get at the con?
What else did I get? I got a couple of action figures. You know, I got Oh no, that was it. It was the disc and one figure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was cool to see everyone's booths set up and stuff like that. And so I kind of wish we got a little bit more time just to kind of look around and interact.
Yeah,
with, I know like Rashiki was there and stuff like that. I didn't get to see him or anything.
Yeah, I used to do outreach for the Veterans Affair, and so like whenever I go to outreach events like that, I'm just like focused on that.
Oh yeah,
so I'm just like,
I said, like we had so much foot traffic.
Yeah.
It was really like we were just constantly talking to people. Yeah. It wasn't like there was a lull.
Right.
You know, I thought like, like it'll come to a point where like nothing comes. You know, I was like expecting no one to walk up to our table at some point. No, we were
and then I sat
busy.
down for about for the first time ever. I'd been on my feet 6 hours. And I sat down, and Chad was like, "I thought you were in the military. I thought you didn't sit down." And I was like, looking at him like, "Fuck you, dude." Yeah. So I stand up, and I'm like, "Now I'm not sitting down for the rest of the."
And then I was sitting the rest of the day.
Yeah, I know you were. But as people were passing by, I was just like, "Hey, how's it going? We're to the Nerdom. Hey, come on, As soon as they made eye contact with me, I was like, "I got him. Come on in." You know. But it was exciting, and got a good amount of people. I think we got like an additional little over 100 followers on Instagram in that time frame.
And I was expecting like, okay, maybe we'll get like 20.
Yeah,
you know, I didn't think we'd break 100. In one day. Like that was pretty awesome.
Yeah. And our views went up on our listens went up on Spotify as well. So thank you very much for that.
Thank you guys.
People who have tuned in and listened to us.
But if you met us at the con and this is your first time listening, reach out, say hi on Instagram or something. Yeah. It'll be great to hear your opinions. Yeah. You know,
hope you guys
give us a little
stick
review.
around.
Yeah. Hopefully we didn't scare you off with our looks.
Yeah. You know.
Well, luckily it's an audio media, so they don't have to look at us.
Well, if we do, since we do have our YouTube, we'll be trying to dive into video very soon.
True. Well,
we will hire some better-looking guys.
Yeah,
just do lip sync to us.
We'll cut over their mouths and then we'll be talking.
Oh God, oh God,
just a bunch of beefcakes.
What was your best experience with the con?
Oh man, just hanging out with you guys. It was really cool to like it was one point where we had the booth set up, we had people coming down. I just kind of looked around and going like, man, we really did this. Yeah, like, this is really cool. Like, it wasn't on my bucket list at all, but I'm so glad like we stuck through this for a year and continue to and we're kind of building something out of this.
Yeah. What was your favorite moment?
Yeah, beat that asshole.
You son
You're like the fucking snacks were great.
The water
that
and the
fucking
candy.
donut.
No, I thought all of it was fun meeting the people. Come up to chat a little bit here and there.
Kids that love Fallout.
Oh yeah,
oh my god,
people will fall out.
oh my god, we got.
But I will say, the raffle was the most electrifying part for me.
The raffle was great.
Yeah, because it was a good wrap up to the end of our day.
Yeah.
So I really liked that part.
My favorite, once we had finished setting up the booth, I love the way it looked. I think the booth looked great.
The booth looked great.
We had these blue tablecloths.
$1 million.
Yeah, we had the blue tablecloths. They stood out, and then we had our sign up that stood out, and then Watson's friend.
Mel. Yeah, Melanie made the
Melly Mel.
Yeah, she.
What's her Instagram?
Not the rapper.
Was
Melanie made this.
Yeah,
Melanie.
She made us, and we shared it on our social media. But we'll put another picture of it, and you can see it's on now. You can see our booth, the completed project at the con, what our booth looked like. She made us this wooden 3D Enter the Nerdom logo sign. Which, I mean, it's amazing. This thing looks beautiful.
It blew me away when she handed me that. We were at work and she was like, "Oh, I did this." I was like, "What?"
It's gorgeous. We put her card up there at the booth so people could look at it, and so we had that. So it was just like a very colorful booth because you look around, and everything was like people just had products, which is of course that's what they're for. But we had the sign, which is it pops. Yeah. We had the sign that Melanie made us. We had the water bottles with the logos on it. We had the blue tablecloths. We had everything. Things stood out. Like our booth stood
that's
out.
one thing I do love about our logo. I think it's it does because of the colors and everything. It does stand out above everything else. And I don't think it's we didn't choose those colors. It wasn't like we had a focus group to go what ways would which colors will identify us or anything like that. But I think. I mean, I love our logo. Look, I'm biased. I'll say it.
Yeah, no, and I think our logo. I think it looks really good. Shout out to our friend Sandro.
Yep.
Sandro.Massolo, Massolo on Instagram. I've just got something in my eye. I'm sorry.
Oh,
ouch.
You need a minute? You're right.
Yeah, no. Sandro.Massolo in Instagram. That's his handle. Thank you very much for designing
buddy.
our logo.
Thank you.
Setting up for it. It's been a great journey. Thank you guys for being on this with me. And I had a great time.
It sounds like the last episode.
Yeah,
it does sound.
It's been a great journey, guys.
I'm sorry, guys. I've been offered a deal at
Sirius.
You son of a bitch. Sirius XM. I'll be heading over there.
Yeah. I will say
and I'll be taking all Enter the Nerdom, and you guys are out.
I will say some people who walk by our booth just squintingly. Kind of here's because if they don't hear us saying it's a podcast, they'll be like, "What is this?"
Yeah.
And a lot of people came over actually, and they were like, "Are you guys a prop guys?" Props. I was like, "Oh no, these are just our."
Some people thought we were GSA people. When he came over, was like, "You guys are the authenticators?" Like, no, it's right there.
I'll be like, "Yeah." Hand over.
We'll hold on to $50. Yeah, and I could write it down on my phone.
Here's a sticker.
Slap a sticker on it. It's authenticated, bro.
All good.
At some point, this kid comes up to our booth, and he's 10.
Yeah, maybe.
Somewhere around there, I think.
And he's this kind of, he's a 10-year-old. He's a little awkward kid. He's like, do you guys have, I don't know, I guess we thought we were selling things.
I don't know.
Yeah,
do you guys have Fallout stuff?
Yeah, he was looking for Fallout, merchandise figures, all under the, Fallout.
Yeah, and he was talking to me and Stan. Chad's there in the back.
But Chad was there's nowhere in the booth to hide.
No, no, he was there.
I mean, I was kind of right behind Watson though. Yeah. But
So, but we're like, no, sorry, man, we're not selling anything. But you can, have you walked around nobody's got anything.
Yeah, and we used chit chat because there was a couple of people at Fallout cosplay,
right?
And I was like, oh, did you see those people? Yeah. And he was like, oh yeah.
So he's talking to us normally, and then all of a sudden, Chad just says, "Have you ever been to Frankensons?" Which is the kind of permanent con that's down in Ontario. And the kid looks at him like these. All of a sudden, he gets startled. Like, what the fuck? Like, where did this guy come from? And his eyes go wide. And Chad is still trying to talk to him.
And the kid just slowly walks away.
The kid shakes his head like no, doesn't say anything, just still wide eyed, and walks away as Chad is in the middle of a sentence. And Chad's like, I'm just trying to have a conversation.
I'm just trying to talk to you, but all right. But it was probably a they live moment. He actually saw what I really am. I was like, all right, what's going on?
You're an alien.
I should have started talking. It was like he notices us.
He sees the sign just says consume.
Yeah, consume.
That's what our
listen, obey.
And this kid's like,
Oh my god!
The way he reacted was like, "Where the fuck did this guy come from?"
The double take he gave was pure gold,
and his eyes go wide.
Yeah,
I have that effect on.
It's like
people.
an animated moment.
And he just walks away. He like stops mid sentence, just walks away as Chad's talking to him.
And I lost it, man. I couldn't.
We were both dying, dude. And then
could not breathe.
And Chad's back there like, "Go look at the fallout, you piece of shit."
Oh.
It was the funniest moment of the day.
Yeah.
Good chuckle.
Yes, absolutely.
But it was a fun day, and I wish I had gotten to see more of the con, but I was so concentrated on just like, let's get as many followers and let's get this raffle done. Because I was getting like, I was having kind of anxiety for the raffle. I was like, either nobody's going to show up or there's going to be too many people, and then the venue's going to tell us like, what are you guys doing?
Right.
You know. So, but luckily everything went pretty smoothly. And I think people had time. People had a good time. Oh, and then after we had done the raffle, people were still coming by, and this lady came by, and I was talking to her, and she's like, I was like, yeah, we just had a raffle, because that was one of my pitches. People walked by like, hey, we're into the Nerdom podcast at 3 p.m. We're giving away we're raffling off these items over here on this table, because we had them all on a table with a sign that said follow us on these things to get a ticket. And she goes, oh, that was you guys. She was on the other side of the venue. Wow. The massive like convention hall that we were in. And she's like, oh, I could hear like cheering, and I was like, that was you guys. Yeah. Like, yeah, it was us. Like, oh, okay.
Nice.
So
that's a good sign.
Yeah, exactly. So we definitely turned heads during the raffle. So it was good.
Yeah, and I heard. I mean, like people were talking about the Red Ranger was there from Mighty Morphin, and his line was something like 2 hours.
Oh yeah,
to get through to get something signed and stuff. So. People come in all over the place to get stuff done there. Yeah. So
it was a great convention. The Black Ranger, the original Black Ranger, Walter Emmanuel Jones, happened to walk by our booth, and we're like, hey, and he gave us a wink, and he's like, hey, what's up?
Yeah, he did a spin kick, and he kicked the water bottle out of my hand, and I was like, oh shit, that's awesome.
And he just says, stay on drugs.
Stay on drugs.
Yes, stay on drugs.
It's a reverse PSA.
He's like CBD,
and then down on our hallway, our booth area there, right down from us, the guy that played Leroy Green in The Last Dragon.
Oh that's right.
Tamik. I think it's Tamik. He was there signing things, and I was like, "Oh my god, I want to go see him!" But I was so concentrated on
you
our
should
booth
have gone, man.
Yeah, I didn't. I wanted to take a picture.
And then you could yell at him, "Who's the master?" And then he'd be like,
enough.
"I know."
Yeah, he'd probably
be like, "All right." Okay.
He's like, "Dude, I get that 40 times a day." I know.
Probably.
I go to the grocery store, and somebody goes, "Show enough." I go, "All right, bro." All right.
I was like, "Okay."
So it was a great event. It was a small con, which is why we wanted to do it, just to kind of get our feet wet and figure out, what. Now we know that we should take some kind of power outage, power supply, I should say, and maybe some type of something to hang our banner on,
right? Just in case,
So, but we know what works and we know what doesn't.
We're learning.
We're learning.
I think it was a great first time.
I think so too. Yeah. We also had a charging station, which nobody could charge their phones on because apparently we didn't bring the right thing.
Yeah, everyone had issues with the cables.
It's got to be a USB-C.
Yeah, I got the new iPhone. Everybody that came up had the new. We did have a guy that wanted He had an Android phone.
Well, he doesn't.
But then we
matter.
Eventually found the cord after he left. We're like, oh well,
yeah. Oh, that's true. We did
have
find
that.
out.
But it's like, come on, dude. What?
But I mean, like, that's the thing. Would they want to stand there while because it wasn't like one of those? Because I know there's those new cords now that speedily, lightning charge. Yeah. So it wasn't going to be that. And like,
I mean, they probably stand for like 10 minutes.
Yeah,
get as much as they can.
Be like, all right.
On. But I mean, it's about having people that at the booth. So it's like people.
No,
other people
true.
are like,
that's
oh,
true.
there's that booth had people around it. What's going on there?
Yeah,
it's that kind of thing. Plus, again, I think our booth just popped.
Yeah.
So I think we did a good job of not like when we first heard about this, the original plans, we had all these great ideas of like, we're gonna set up a gaming station, set up
clips with our
TV. Videos and all this stuff, and
it's not a bad idea.
It's still not a bad idea. But I think the way it was set up, it looked clean, it looked professional, it wasn't like everything everywhere. So I think that helps.
A lot.
The aesthetic.
Yeah. So Pasadena Comic Con. I'm down to do it again if you guys are.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, next time we're gonna put Squibs in Stan's shirt as he announces the prizes, and then he's
the grand prize. Just and everybody's like, "Oh my god!" Everybody's just horrified, and then I stand up and start reading the ticket.
But you pull out one ticket. It's got fake blood on it. Like, 1, 0,
1. Yeah,
it's like he's dead, folks. But who's the winner?
Just horrified. Just there's kids crying in the audience.
Yeah. Maybe not do that.
Yeah,
people covered in blood from the squid blood.
I
you know you were in the splash zone.
I'm just behind. It's like, oh, I kind of overdid it with packing those squibs.
Looks like it's like shocking.
There's like entrails coming out.
Yeah, it's like,
I look like Jesse Ventura in Predator after he got hit. Just
my
massive hole in the chest.
So good.
So yeah, it's great. It was a great event, and I wouldn't mind doing another con sometime this year if you guys are down.
Oh yeah,
so
sure.
Cool. Anything that comes up, there is a collector's con. Is it Pasadena? I can't remember. It might be LA Convention Center. There's which is basically it's just a convention to sell stuff. That's it. So if we I'll look into that if you guys are down. I'll see about getting us a vendor spot. Cool. And then Watson, that's the convention. So Watson, we'll go on to like things that are going on in the news right now and things we've seen and whatnot. Watson watched 60 Minutes on
not the news.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say the old timey. No, so 60 Minutes. It's a new movie on Netflix. It's a German movie, but don't let that scare you. It is dubbed. So it's a fun, like almost real time movie. So its main character is this kid named Octo, who is a MMA fighter, and he is having a big match, against a rival, and then he gets a call from his ex-wife, who it's also weirdly enough on the same day it's his daughter's birthday. So, and she's basically like, hey, you got 60 minutes to come down here and spend time with your kid, or you're not going to get to see your kid anymore. And so it's this race of him to, he leaves his match and runs down and is trying to get to his kid and to his ex-wife's place. At the same time, there's some gangsters that put a lot of money on this fight that are not happy with what happened. So they're trying to find him and get him and try to get their money back kind of thing. It's a really good, it's only like an hour and a half movie.
Oh, okay.
But you got the initial setup and then it's the ticking clock of the hour, it's got some really good fights. Choreography in there is really well done.
Is everyone in the film German, or is it like a mixture of cultures?
No, I mean, like, it seems like they're all German. I mean, yet again, I watched it dubbed, so I can't tell you if, like, someone is French or whatever.
Yeah,
like
no,
that. But it's very much set in Berlin, and it's this, very, kind of almost like, not like there's a lot of parkour or anything like that, but it's a lot of foot chase through the streets of Berlin to get to, the other side from the stadium where the match is to where his wife is. And, as he's racing through the city, he's, obviously, like, gangsters are coming out the woodwork. They're fighting him everywhere. They got guys on motorcycles, and, he's just got his fisticuffs.
Okay.
But it's really well done, man. It's a fun, easy action movie. Like I said, it's about an hour and a half all the way through. And, like, stuff that I thought they would do the cliche kind of thing, they don't do. So I was really pleased with it.
Oh, for a minute, I thought it was going to be actually 60 minutes and that, but it's real time, so it's
it's there's the initial setup and then the clock starts.
So there's is there a visible ticking clock like 24?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, so he has he has a smartwatch, so that plays a big part in the movie where it shows him like the how long he's got and stuff like that.
That's cool.
But yeah, it's a really fun movie, and again the fight choreography is great. There's a big, huge climactic fight at the end in a warehouse. There's this fight in a coffee shop, which is great. Just lots of really interesting, fun ways to can knock someone out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, yeah,
I'd say check it out. I mean, it's
all right.
there's not a lot of new stuff. It's in January into February, and it's a good easy movie to find in Netflix. And don't be scared to watch some foreign movies.
Yeah, no, definitely. There's a lot of foreign movies right now, they're outpacing American movies.
That's true.
Godzilla -1.
Yeah.
Come on.
Is there an option to watch it in German though?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can do it undubbed. Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
Awesome. Yeah, check it out. And then Chad recently watched The Beekeeper.
Yes.
The new Jason Statham movie.
Yes.
How was that, man?
It was fun. I mean, like, I could see a lot of people looking at it and saying it's a very generic film, but like it follows like some very similar beats. I think it also borrows a bit from John Wick in a sense, but you could kind of say it's not just John Wick, because you know how all these action movies, they'll have like a occupation as the mechanic, the bricklayer, the painter, and all that. So it has that type of, like, I guess you could say 80s action feel to it, in the sense of it's old school, where he is pretty much he's like a retired quote unquote beekeeper, which is a secret group throughout the United States that they protect the hive when there's something, and no one has control over them pretty much.
So they're like mercenaries, or
yeah, like the government can hire them to handle certain people if things get out of control.
But they're not under any jurisdiction.
Yeah, they're not any and like no one can call them off, and it's their choice to finish the job or not.
Okay.
Okay.
But the thing is, he's retired. And he's just taking care of bees.
So he's an actual beekeeper.
Yes, he's
as well as also being part of the beekeeper program.
Exactly. Yeah.
Now, does being in the program, like, did he learn to be a beekeeper through the program?
Well, you'll see as watching the film, you do see that the beekeepers, they have a book about keeping a hive, and like about a beehive, and like what the bees naturally do to the keeps us sustained, with environmentally.
So are all the beekeeper agents actual beekeepers?
Well, you don't get to see if they
actually. After the sequel?
Yeah, I mean, you maybe
beekeepers.
I mean, they could if they want to, but
the hive reached out.
But I mean, like you barely, like, you get that beekeeper stuff in the beginning of him like tending his bees, and he lives in a shack that I'm blanking on the actress's name, but she is Mrs. Huxtable from the Cosby Show.
Oh, yeah.
She's like been letting him live there, and he's been helping her out because
Creed's
she's
mom.
Yes, and she's just needed help because her daughter is a police officer, and she's not always home. So Jason Statham sometimes takes care of her, and also gives her a jar of honey every now and then.
They call her the Queen Bee.
They call her the Queen Bee. And
that's pretty good, Jason Statham.
Thank you.
I know.
But apparently there's these phishing internet groups that are
they steal our money or something.
Yeah, they steal
that's very real.
Yeah, very like I felt like, oh, these people are pieces of shit. I wanted them all to get it, and they do.
Yeah, those actual people are pieces of shit.
Yeah, and like it's just like so easy for someone who doesn't know computers that they can get fooled by that.
Well, they prey on elderly people.
Yeah, like it'll say there's something wrong with your computer, call this number, and then they'll you got to
give us Target gift cards to pay off this debt or whatever.
Yeah, or they'll be like, just sign into your account here, and then and
unfortunately, it happened to my mom.
Oh, really?
Maybe 6 years ago or something like that. She was setting up new cable at home or something like that.
Yeah,
and she got a call. And it was a scam, and they were like, "Oh, yeah, we're the cable," because she was like, "Oh, you with the cable company?" And they're like, "Yeah."
Oh.
And my mom is very, she doesn't use her like debit card ever. Everything's very old school with her. So when she told me, she was like, "Oh yeah, they fixed the computer online." I was like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah, that's
And I was so pissed.
Yeah.
Not at her because it's not her fault, but it was just like. I was like, yeah, it's automatically. I was like, oh man, they just stole money from you.
Yeah, yeah. It happened to. He's my cross country track coach, but he's like my father. We're still very close, and they told me, go get the gift cards, Go get the Target gift cards, and you got to pay. That's how you pay back this. Yeah, they told him he owned some kind of fine or some shit, or debt or whatever. And he's like, okay,
it's terrible.
Yeah, it's just they're people. Those people are terrible.
Yeah, they're pieces of shit that prey on people like that.
Yeah,
and Josh Hutcherson, he's the leader of these people who he's pretty much got multiple scams going on of the same thing around, and pretty much, well, the woman, after losing all of her money, like even her savings, and she's in charge of like this fundraiser fund for I want to say it's orphans, but it could be something in that same realm, hospital kids or something. Bees. So she felt so bad about it, she ends up taking her own life.
Oh.
And then Jason Statham comes in and finds her, and like the daughter of the mother comes in and arrests him, thinking he did it, but it turns out it was actual suicide. And she figures out it's been these people scamming all these elderly people.
Right.
But Jason Statham promised, I mean, like it's like, oh, I'm going to go back to tending my bees and stuff, but he's actually looking more, he like pulls out of his hive, like the man-made hive that he has.
Yeah.
He'll pull out this like sat phone, and he calls this number like beep, 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 beep. And he's like, hey, I need you to look up a few blokes, blah, blah, blah. And so he finds out.
Asian honeypot.
Yeah. And it's very like John Wick in that respect. Like he's, breaking out his old stuff to combat these guys. And he just goes straight head on. Like he goes to the first lead, kills a whole bunch of people, burns down their place, and it just goes from there. But as you were watching the movie, you see that Josh Hutcherson, he's someone that is well connected, and Jeremy Irons, who from the trailer you would think, oh, he's probably the bad guy of the movie. He's pretty much working for Hutcherson in the sense that he used to be a Secret Service, and he's like keeping an eye on him because he would get in trouble. He's playing like this kind of like, I'm a rich little kid, I could get away with anything. But it turns out this goes all the way to the top where his mom is the president of the United States. And it's entertaining in that fact that it starts off as a smaller scam thing, and then it's like, oh, geez, okay. Because
very Black Dynamite kind of thing.
Yeah. But when it escalates, because like Josh Hutcherson pretty much calls his mom's like, hey, can we spend some time at the beach house? And the mom's going to be there too. So obviously all the Secret Service are going to be there. And Jason Statham is just on a mission to kill him and kill everyone that had to do with the scamming.
Wait, doesn't he already have Secret Service if he's the son of the president?
Well, I mean, they're detailed to his mom, but like he has his own, I guess, private security, but it's
would be Secret Service though.
Yeah.
Well, like,
so I guess he kills Secret Service agents.
Well, not exactly, no, because he only kills the hired goons that Jeremy Irons puts onto him, because he gets ex-Navy SEALs and stuff who are mercenaries who are just like, so he's only killing them. He doesn't kill the Secret Service or the military that he comes in contact with. He'll just knock them out.
Yeah.
And be like, Thank
you for your service. I saw there's a scene where he's knocking out FBI agents.
Yeah. He'll knock guys out and stuff like that. But he like miraculously doesn't kill any of the good secret agents.
Okay, you can kill cops in Marvel now. Ironheart dropped the drone on him.
Hey, I mean,
police.
I'm sure that was an accident.
Well, yeah, it was. It doesn't matter. It's still manslaughter. Yeah. Even if it's.
I'm sure they wrote a check to the department, and now
they're okay. Yeah.
But yeah. So I mean, I think it was a fun movie. It was just you could kind of read some of the beats and stuff like that. There was even like they tried to hire other beekeepers to take him out, sort of like a John Wick situation. Yeah. Like, all right, track him down and take him out, and obviously they fail because. He's the hero. Right. He's the guy. But yeah, no, I'd say it's worth giving a shot, checking out. It's fun. It's a fun little romp through the beehive. All in all, I would say that movie, it's a keeper.
Would you give it a B+?
Oh.
I would, yeah, B+. B+.
Would you give it a sting? Damn it!
Aw.
I fucked up.
Was Beyonce in the movie? Because she's
No.
the queen bee.
I was like, wait, what?
I mean, they missed their
No
opportunity.
one is the queen bee.
Queen bee, yes.
Oh,
That's for the sequel.
Beyonce.
There you go.
would you be my wife?
You got to put a ring on it?
He's he's gonna put a ring on it.
You guys are on fire tonight,
Oh,
dude.
man.
No, yeah, we're selling it. We're selling it here.
Oh.
Keeping it hot.
Yeah. As those
Until
Instagram
she
numbers
puts-
going up.
Until she puts his things in a box to the left.
Yeah. But
Damn, I'm not good at this.
I'll always have that halo. 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 Right? That's the song? That's the,
I guess.
That's, No, it is a Beyonce song.
There you go.
It is.
Okay, great. Well, that's straight into, I don't know what that's straight into, but okay.
No, that's nothing.
But so, yes.
That's
Segue.
Beekeeper is a keeper, and
Yeah,
it's a B+.
B+. It's a B+.
There you go.
Say it's fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Take it.
It's
Go
one of
see it.
the-
Go get your honey and go see it.
It's
with-
one of
with
the
her,
19 movies Statham has coming out this year.
I
Yeah,
mean,
he's
like,
doing a lot. Yeah.
by far, this was so much better than Expendables 4. Oh, like,
How about Meg 2?
Oh, I just saw it.
well, Meg 2, that was more of an ensemble for me. That's
Yeah.
not just him.
Yeah.
So I would say that Meg 2 is fun, but Beekeeper's its own thing. And they don't really
he
have
has another movie coming out this year, too, right?
Really?
Doesn't he?
I don't think so.
I gotta
Do you
look
think
it
it's a Guy Ritchie movie?
Oh, I know Guy Ritchie is coming out with a
Yeah,
movie.
he is
It
coming
could
out
be
with
in
a
that. It could
No,
be in that.
I saw the trailer and the cast, and he's not in it. So,
Okay.
but because that's with Henry Cavill,
Cavill.
aka
Ooh,
Superman.
actually,
AKA
and that's a good segue because
Jamal.
we also watched the Ungentlemanly Warfare trailer.
Oh, yeah.
What a great trailer that was.
It
And I'm
looks-
so glad. I
yeah.
shared it to the group that we have. And I'm so glad that Henry Cavill is being a lead in something because it seems like his career's been kind of off and on. He should definitely. I think if he had come around like in the 90s or early 2000s, he'd be a superstar. But I don't know what's been going on lately because some of the things he's been into have kind of been like a laywayed have been kind of sidelined.
Yeah. I mean, it sucks because, he left Witcher.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, because of
he
differences with the writer staff.
Right.
Yeah.
And also was like, probably, they offered him, hey, you want to be Superman again, right? He came back to that
Yeah, that's
going like,
yeah.
oh, I'm all in. I'm ready to be Superman.
Yeah.
He did interviews. He was excited for it.
Yeah.
Just to get kind of the rug pulled from under him.
Right.
He did a cameo in Black Adam.
Mm-hmm.
And then they were like, yeah, you're done.
Well, and then a couple years ago, he got the lead along with what's his name in Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Yes.
Army
Hammer.
Hammer. Yeah. And it seemed like they were trying to do that. They're trying to make that into another franchise.
I really loved.
I liked the movie too. I thought it was great.
Yeah, it was great.
I
Fun
thought it was
movie.
great. Yeah, I watched a couple episodes of the original series, and it kind of has that same theme.
That
It's just
vibe,
like
yeah.
kind of it's like fun.
Well, and I love
it
the
doesn't take itself too
concept of
seriously.
like an agent from the east, an agent from the west.
Well, wasn't it based off a show, like an old
Yeah,
show?
yeah,
from
from the
U.N.C.L.E.
'60s. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they were trying to make that into a franchise. It didn't seem to go anywhere. I think the movie did as well as they thought it would.
Yeah, it didn't do great.
Yeah.
And, obviously Army Hammer's become kind of a poison pill.
Yeah, Pariah.
Yeah, unfortunately. But
Well, I was thinking Piranha, but
Oh, yes.
I said Pariah.
Oh, saying the other. Well,
I'm not good at this.
It's all right. It's okay. I made the nom sound.
The nom
so.
nom.
Exactly, you saved it. He was he's Superman. That who knows what happened with that?
Yeah.
It didn't go as far as people thought it would.
right.
He played Superman 2 movies?
Yeah. And then, there was a lot of rumors of him trying out for Bond.
Right.
I think it was
Yeah.
like he came really close to being Bond.
Yeah.
When Daniel Craig was taken
Right.
on, and it was if they would have gone younger, because the idea was to go young with Bond,
Yeah.
and
he was too young. That was
he
the
was
thing.
too young at the time. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
And now he's
Now
just
he's-
a little past
yeah.
the older
Unfortunately, yeah.
side. So
and now
it's
they're
just-
doing a young Bond.
Yeah. And he seems like a genuinely good guy. He's a nerd himself. He
Yeah.
builds his own computer terminals, and
Right.
he's a huge gamer. Loves Warhammer. which is a show that he's supposed to be the showrunner on, and that's hopefully coming on. That's going to go in production soon.
Yeah, I hope so.
I hope that. So seeing him in movies like this, where he's the lead,
Right.
and it looks, and the trailer looks like he's having the best time of his life because he's playing like this kind of crazy guy who's just having a great time killing Germans.
That's the thing.
It takes place during
Definitely
World War
a role we haven't seen him play, which he's usually pretty stoic and we've seen him play badasses before, but I think this is one.
He was Mission Impossible.
Yeah, I think this looks like he's really enjoying himself.
Right.
It looks like a mixture of Inglourious Bastards with like the Guns of Navarone,
and
things like that, like those old.
That's exactly. I think that's what they're going for. Yeah, Guns of Navarone
kind of feel.
Yeah, not the Eagles. Eagles landed.
Yeah, Dirty Dozen.
Dirty Dozen.
Yeah, they're definitely trying to go with that old school type of like World War II, like dirty special forces guys.
And you got
what's that one with Clint Eastwood? Hawk.
That's the one I was saying.
Oh, Night of the Falcon?
That's not Eagles.
No.
Eagles something, isn't it? Eagles.
I think you're right. I think it is Eagles
There's
Nest.
some birds involved.
Something like
that. Yeah, but. Yeah, all those are fun.
It's what Quentin Tarantino was spoofing in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood with Leonardo DiCaprio's
with the
character.
flamethrower.
The 12 Fists of McCuskey or whatever that was.
Yeah.
So that's what they're. It seems like they were spoofing the old 60s, 70s movie, World War II special forces movies. It seems like that's
it's kind of back in vogue again.
Yeah.
I mean, but Cavill. Hopefully he gets his Warhammer show off the ground.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna be super expensive.
Oh yeah.
I have a terrible feeling though it's gonna be like the Halo show. Like everyone was looking forward to the Halo show, but it's such a vast world. It's hard to capture it.
I don't think it will, because with Halo it seems like they unfortunately are going with the route of they're not following the video game.
No,
he takes his helmet off.
They're trying to ground the character more.
Yeah,
exactly.
The sex scene.
It's just kind of like So I don't know if the showrunners are fans of Halo or not. It doesn't seem like they are, because it seems like they're straying from the lore. But Henry Cavill is a huge fan of Warhammer, and he's a showrunner on this.
Yeah.
So I think that he's going to, and I think people are beginning to trust him because of what happened with Witcher.
Yeah.
That show failed because they weren't listening to him. They weren't listening to Henry Cavill, and they were listening to the fans.
Yeah.
Warhammer is such a massive thing. It's got such a huge base that I think that they're going to listen to him and let him have creative control, which is,
I know. Warhammer, though, it's such a... You might get lost in the weeds of it all.
It reminds me of Dune in that sense. Where there's so much lore to it.
There's so much lore. And, each one of the generals are a clone of the main, emperor and everything.
Right.
So.
Well, I would think the best way to go about that show is maybe either each episode, maybe an hour long or so, follows that one group, that clan or whatever. And then as people get familiar with each one, then you could start crossing them and building it up even more.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm not sure how he's going to go about it. I would hope... because I don't know if we're just following one singular guy.
Yeah, I don't know.
And that's going to be a little harder to do. So I don't know. That'll be interesting.
It could be like one unifying character, but I think your idea is the best way to go about it. Is they follow a certain clan per episode, and they have these coalescing storylines weaving interwoven throughout the entire show that eventually come together.
Like I forget the name of it, but there's one that's just pretty much all demons. Technically, you don't really have to get into deep with that.
Well, isn't that who they fight? The Marines?
Well, yeah, the
Chaos or whatever it is.
Yeah, the demons are like Chaos embodied.
They come from a different dimension.
Yeah, and any time a planet is infected with it, like the Marines will. I forget what it's called, but it's like a Latin name. Well, it's a Latin name, and they obliterate the whole planet just to save humanity, pretty much, and stuff. So there's very in depth. Like you could go on YouTube and there's like hours and hours of lore.
Well, I would love to see because the Marines themselves are these genetically engineered soldiers.
Yeah,
they're like 7 feet tall.
They're clones of like one guy,
right? And they have this armor that's just pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So I'd love to see a new clone or recruit or whatever being turned into like a Marine, like how they start off their basic training and all that, and
kind of obviously this wasn't done correctly, but Starship Troopers had the book version. You follow Rico as a young grunt, and then by the end he's completely turned into like the military man.
Yeah.
The book is a lot better, obviously, than the movie, but
it's
but yeah, I mean, other than Warhammer, he's also.
Do you want to live forever?
Speaking of which, he's going to be Highlander.
Oh yeah.
Who?
Cavill.
Oh yeah, Cavill. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So
I thought you were talking about the guy who played Rico.
Oh no, no.
I saw that.
That was called a segue.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're talking about when we're talking about Cavill.
Yeah. So hopefully his career will kind of rebound with, these projects and him looking more like he's having fun doing it, and getting out of his, going out of the box a little bit with these characters.
Well, going off of that sort of, I also just wanted to say for Guy Ritchie, I've been excited with the past 5 years or so of stuff he's been putting out, because he's jumping in all these realms, and just instead of just staying with his original crime noir stories,
British
gangster stuff.
Yeah.
And I think he's been doing a pretty good job with it, like The Gentleman, Wrath of Man. I didn't get to see The Covenant, but I heard it was okay. I heard it was decent. And then he's got the Ungentlemanly Warfare coming out. So I'm just glad he's not I was one of the few people who enjoyed his King Arthur. I understood he tried to do too much, and that's what failed about it. But I enjoyed some of the stuff he did do in that. So
and also with the new one, Alan Richardson's in it. The Reacher himself is in this.
Oh yeah, he's in Ungentlemanly Warfare as well. So which
one of our favorites.
Oh yeah, Segue.
Chad just finished Reacher season 2.
I forgot my blow whistle over there. That's all right. It doesn't matter. It's too late now.
No, you gotta blow it now because you already brought it up.
Damn it!
You brought it up.
It's like Beetlejuice. You bring it up a couple of times. There it is.
Segue.
That's terrible.
Segue.
So yeah, I just finished watching season 2 of Reacher. What'd you think, man? I liked it. I liked
better than season 1 or not as good? Because I've heard it's not as good as season 1.
See, I will agree and disagree with that, only because it had the added bonus of I love Robert Patrick, and he's the villain of this season, and any time I get to see him, I'm always happy to see him.
Yeah,
so.
Patrick is awesome.
And he sells it. I his physicality in it when he's brutal to the heroes or anyone he's torturing. I was like, oh yeah, he does a good job.
I agree and disagree with that, because it's just unfortunately, Alan Richardson is such a jacked giant dude.
No, yeah,
he's massive in this.
It's hard to put him against anyone that isn't come on,
right?
No, that's why you have to overwhelm him with numbers or more guns, and that's the only way you're gonna really do anything.
But I will say, Robert, when he's on he does a lot of phone calls to Reacher, and it's sinister enough,
Yeah, and I will say though, it's just funny to me. They don't take any prisoner; they kill everybody. So, when he says "we're gonna kill them all,"
means
they
it.
mean it. They're anyone who's responsible, we're taking out. And I'm like, you don't have to. There's no repercussions.
He really is there's no moral gray zone. It's black or white. For him. It's you're good or you're on my side or you're against me.
And I do get annoyed with him because sometimes only because even though he plays a smart or this intelligent guy, he'll jump to these conclusions really quickly with there's a detective in it who he thinks is crooked. All of a sudden, he's like, where are you getting this from? He's he's been with you most of the way there,
right?
And so, I mean, with that, I'm like, all right, I guess it's because it's a personal thing. His friends are dead. He's just kind of
a little
not
heightened
using
through the whole series. He feels And the same with season 1. He kind of gets that way once he finds out his brother is dead.
Yeah.
It's the heightened.
He's like a bull, in a china shop. Let him loose.
Yeah. He kind of loses perspective a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I like that. I like that he's not infallible and he's not a perfect character.
Yeah.
He still has his faults. But I like that. I really like season 1. I thought it was good. I'm maybe halfway through season 2, and I just haven't gone back to it, which is never a good sign because I'm just I'll get to it.
Well, no, I will say it gets good. It's good, but
the
then
back half is good.
The back half, I will say the back half excels, and I'll say sometimes it's unpredictable who's gonna die because I was shocked. I was like, oh, I thought this guy was gonna make it, and then nope. It's okay, but So at least I like it when I'm surprised, because usually I'm able to predict, like, okay,
Right.
this is gonna happen. Blah 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 blah.
There's been a lot of backlash online about him having a team. You know, a lot of people don't like the idea of having him with like a group of people that he knows and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think for this season it makes sense because
Right.
he was alone in the first season.
Yeah,
so
and
it makes a little more sense.
From what I heard from which book they picked for the third season, which they made the announcement of which book it is.
Really?
It's him back to like one man army kind of thing.
Mm.
Yeah, I think Neely is the only one that's signed up for the next season.
Well, the thing, I think it works with this one because like the odds that they're up against is so overwhelming at points where it's like, yeah, he would have died like a couple of times if they weren't around. So I disagree with his team is like, I mean, most of his team is dead, so it's just like he's got 3 people with him.
Yeah.
And so but I think they sold it. I wasn't like, all right, I don't believe anybody here is like that useful or is just lacking with character development or anything like that. Everyone, I was enjoying watching everybody in the season. So I like how they connected it with. You get to see the cop from the first season back, and he's in Boston now, so he helped them out. I was like, all right, so you're weaving characters throughout, and we might see someone pop up from this one in the next one. Who knows, So,
don't mess with the special investigators.
Yeah, don't mess with the special, and details matter.
Details matter.
Which I don't have all the time, and sometimes will be wrong on.
Yes.
Yeah. Plenty of the time.
So
that's why you, the listeners, message me and say, Chad, you got it wrong.
Yeah. I thought that I think the last episode I said that I think that Reacher and his people are lawyers. I don't think they are. I thought they were in the JAG Corps, but they're military police.
Yeah, they were military
police. Makes even less sense. But whatever.
I mean,
militarily.
But you have so much in common with them now, Stan.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I was military police. I never once saw a major investigating shit. So.
I mean,
they were specially put together units.
Yeah, they were.
I know. But
special unit.
There's way too many.
They're like the A team. They're the A team of MPs. Yeah. Like you just couldn't make the cut.
No, those are called CID. There's no.
So that's like a detective.
That's the detectives. Yeah.
Okay.
Criminal investigative division. Yeah.
All right.
Do they get to wear? Are they still uniform or
no? They wear civilian clothes. Yeah, and they get special badges and those are investigators. Yeah, and you don't want to talk from them. That's not.
Oh
good.
no,
that's not good.
Oh,
there's MPs, there's military police investigators, which are below CID, and there's CID.
Okay, so
what's above CID?
Nothing. Nobody. That's them.
Or we just don't know because they're so secret.
No, we know.
Jack Reacher.
No, we know.
Maybe it's Jack Reacher.
Could be Jack Reacher. I thought I saw him in a base walking around.
There you go.
Just a big guy walking.
Yeah, walking around.
It's hard not to.
He
notice
just turns.
him.
He goes. Shh.
Don't mess with special investigators. Oh shit. Yes, sir. And then so we also got news that Beetlejuice 2 has been confirmed.
Yep, for September. Forgot the date already.
September.
Yeah, in September.
Oh, okay.
September 22nd, I think, was the official announcement.
What do you guys think?
I'm excited.
Do you think it needed a sequel?
Well, see, the thing is, I love Michael Keaton and I love Beetlejuice, his character. Mm-hmm. But if they don't do his character justice, I'm going to regret them making it.
Well, yeah.
I mean, like, I don't know. See, like, until I see a first teaser or trailer, I don't know how to feel totally about it.
I don't know if Beetlejuice,
September 6th, just like you
go. I don't know if Beetlejuice can get away with the things he was doing back in the early 90s.
Well, apparently he's married in this new one.
Yeah.
He's married to oh my god, I'm blanking on her name. She was in Matrix Reloaded, but it doesn't matter now. Whatever.
Oh, Carrie.
Monica Bellucci.
Yes, Monica Bellucci. There we go.
Right, yeah.
There we go.
Tim Burton's new beau.
Really?
Yeah, Tim Burton and her are together. Tim Burton, man.
Tim.
He just gets some of the best.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say.
Damn you, Tim.
But
damn you.
It's funny because my friend actually was the same way. He's like, I don't know how I feel about another Beetlejuice. And I'm like, well, you got to remember, it won't take away from your thoughts of the original, right? The original will always be there.
Yeah.
If anything, it's just adding more
to
the soup. That is Beetlejuice, you know.
Also, Willem Dafoe's in it too.
Yeah.
Oh, now that I did not.
Yeah,
know.
and that was like an added
that.
bonus, and like I think it sort of leaked what his character was, and like they were like kind of upset that but I think he's like some kind of like netherworld detective or something. Like
Oh,
that.
they bringing
Something
back.
like
I didn't see it. Winona Ryder's been confirmed. Has she?
yeah, Winona Ryder's
Nice.
back,
That's
and
awesome.
I believe
Winona
Catherine O'Hara's back as well.
Oh, nice.
But
And Jenna Ortega is in there, right?
I don't know.
I didn't see anything about that.
I mean,
I'm
she
sure maybe yeah.
she could be. I mean, I don't know. Though.
I don't know. I thought she was mentioned, but maybe it was just more.
Maybe
fan
plays
casting.
Beetlejuice's daughter,
Yeah.
and she goes, "Hey, what's going on?" I don't know. She's not my kid.
Go need a paternity test.
Those sandworms, honey, don't go outside. But I wonder if they'll be in the same house or actually. I think maybe we'll see more of the Netherworld, if anything.
That would be great.
Because that's
so.
where we left off with him with his like little ticket number. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
just don't give me. I don't want to know
be
where
awesome.
Beetlejuice came from. Don't give me any of
The
that.
backstory.
Yeah, don't give me
is-
backstory.
Yeah. That would be awesome if that was the opening scene. Like it's finally his number because it's been all these years.
Oh, that's funny.
That'd be great.
Well, I want
That
to
would
know
be
how he
funny,
unshrinks
actually.
his head.
Yeah.
Because his head got shrunk at the
Oh,
end.
that's
He's
right.
like, whoa,
Oh yeah.
you know.
Oh, it's a good look for me.
I got a thing with GQ later. But no, but yeah, I hope it's as quotable as the original,
yeah.
and I really want the music to be on point like the first one.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things you gotta.
It's really hard, and that was another thing I was mentioning. My buddy was like, comedy sequels are really hard to come. Like
really
I was saying,
hard,
like
yeah.
Zoolander 2 or
Yeah.
like Anchorman 2, like anything that's got a real cult following.
Yeah.
To do a sequel
Well,
years
the problem
later.
with those is like they try to do so many cameos. Like leave it alone. Don't just focus on the story. That's all.
That's what they didn't do. Yeah,
Yeah,
and they were
so-
doing a lot of repeat jokes.
yeah.
And so I hope they don't try and repeat the first movie.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, I would like to see some kind of expansion, but I do like the characters. So
Would you want to see because this would be copying sort of if we're following the couple or the family and they die and then we see them, like you wouldn't want to see a repeat of that story.
Oh,
where,
if like Catherine O'Hara dies. I
yeah,
guess.
and it's like, oh, we need help exercising the people from our house, so
That would be interesting.
they hire
I don't
Beetlejuice.
know, yeah.
Like he's like, I gotta go to work, honey. He tells Monica. But I mean, that's the thing. Or is this going to be a completely different?
Yeah, or even
is it just going to follow him the whole time?
I don't know. I mean,
which
like,
I would love.
Yeah, we're not having Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis in there, right?
I don't think we're gonna have Alec Baldwin. No.
Yeah, so
I mean, that's the thing because he's aged. Unless they de-age him,
Right.
there's no because he's a ghost. Like he wouldn't have gotten older and same with Gina Davis. So
I mean, luckily with Keaton, he's under so much makeup.
they could cake
that's easy.
all that on.
Yeah.
and,
That's
so,
easy,
and he's
yeah.
still got that energy. You know.
Oh yeah.
So, I don't know. We'll see, but.
I always liked the Beetlejuice cartoon.
Yeah.
The 90s one. It was good.
It was
They're
good.
like him and Lydia are friends and they go
Yeah.
on adventures. It's pretty good.
Well, speaking of cartoons and sequels, we did see a trailer for the new Ghostbusters movie as well.
Oh, yes.
And man, did I get real Ghostbuster vibes from this?
Yeah,
I don't know
same
about
here.
you.
Yes.
No, yeah. The I mean, like I felt this was pulled right from the cartoon with some of the ghost creatures that you get to see in the trailer.
They're flying after like
This
a
eel
ghost. Yeah, it looks so cool.
and like the teeth are all janky, like kind of one of those fish that you'd see in deep underwater. It's like this is exactly what I would love to see. The tech upgraded.
Yep.
Like I don't know if one event's going to release all the ghosts or if there's just ghosts already, and then
Well, it seems like you've got that horned ghost, and he's trying to get an army of ghosts.
Yeah. So
of course he's going after the containment unit.
well, is he in the containment unit area in that trailer?
No, but you see
Does it-
them
yeah.
pan to the containment unit, and all the stuff's going.
Oh,
kinda
you're right, yeah.
haywire
It's funny that the Ghostbusters are the reason all those ghosts get loose
Every
like
time.
that. Every time.
Yep.
Well, actually, in 2, that wasn't their fault.
That
that was the
was
slime.
true.
That was the slime.
The river of slime.
You know, it's every every New Yorker's right to be an asshole. You know, I forget the line. I messed up.
Good. Did I thought I heard something during the trailer, a line. I think it says Walter Peck says it. I think when he says, "I'll supposedly save the world," but there's no eyewitnesses.
Right.
And I was like,
"You were there,
saw that
asshole."
Yeah.
You know he's gonna deny.
And also, but not even. Okay, I could see him denying it, but like, didn't everybody see the massive marshmallow puffs? The Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Two, they said it was a mass delusion.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, come on, dude. Seriously? All right.
Yes. Well, no one had a phone built into their...
Plus, with Afterlife, people didn't even know about the Ghostbuster. At least young kids.
True,
so.
Yeah, they gone back. They
like
legends.
Yeah, they.
I think a massive Marshmallow Stay Puft Man would...
well, I mean, if
walking down the middle of Central Avenue...
Like, how old is Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd now? What, like 70s?
Mid-70s,
yeah. So if you saw a 70-year-old man, it's like, yeah... One time I saw a giant marshmallow man climbing up a church.
I'd be like, okay, old man. But then other people were saying it. And I ran to...
Lady Liberty was walking down the street right here.
Yeah. And I
played my favorite Jackie Wilson song.
Yeah.
That happened.
That happened. A cop car got smushed.
I think I'd believe it if
they should have put Nikes on those feet.
I think if my mom saw it and she was there, and I'd be like, okay, I kind of believe that this happened. Plus all her friends that saw it that day, I'd be like, okay.
They must have put it there.
I love that we get to see Janine in costume. That's awesome.
Yeah,
when I saw her, I was like, fuck yeah.
I'm really hoping
Ghostbusters. What do you want?
Yeah,
I know it's probably not gonna happen, but I hope like they just hit it and we get like a little Louis Tully somewhere. Like if he's just maybe.
I think it might happen because he came out of retirement.
Yeah, he's been working.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping.
I think it has been. I think they're definitely holding that back.
Oh, that'd be so good, man.
Because he and Janine were an item.
They were.
I mean, they could be. He could be, somewhere. So driving a bus with Slimer somewhere. Yeah. No. I really. I don't want to have my hopes up, but I really do have my hopes up.
Yeah.
Because
it's hard not to. It's hard not to be like, I'm excited for it. And. I know it's not Jason Reitman directing. I know he produced it.
I mean, he was pretty much on hands, I would say.
Yeah,
with because it was his friend that was a co-writer,
right? And I think Reitman's a great director. He doesn't really know how to direct comedy, though. Afterlife was a good movie. Yeah, it wasn't a good comedy.
That I agree with that, but from this trailer, it seems like there's some more comedy elements put into it. So, and I don't know if he just let the cast members ad lib or if it's actually written into it and they're kind of going, because I mean you already have their characters based, so you can kind of just have them riff with it. And
I love like Paul Rudd kind of being the fanboy.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Busted makes him feel good,
It makes everybody feel good.
Yeah, so I'm excited for it. I'm looking forward to it. The trailer looked great. I don't know if we'll see a third one before the movie gets released.
I think they'll be fine because it's in March, so. And that's only the first trailer because the first thing we had was a teaser. So I think we'll get one more. But I don't know if I want to watch it because if it'll give too much away on that last one. You think
we'll have another one around the Super Bowl or no?
Probably.
I think no. So. I think they'd want to promote for Super Bowl. Yeah, if not, I mean, yeah. I would think we would.
The big rumor is Super Bowl will see a Deadpool 3 trailer.
Ooh.
That was a lot of people have been excited about that.
That'd be awesome.
Because that movie's right around the
corner. Apparently,
corner.
Matthew Vaughn says that they saved the Marvel Universe. So
there you go. So, interesting.
So we'll see. We'll see if that movie. We'll see. Matthew Vaughn's Argyle's out with Henry Cavill.
Oh yeah, that's out literally now.
Now, yeah.
You're seeing it this weekend, right, Watson?
I got a ticket to see it this weekend. Yeah.
I mean,
I'm interested in checking it out.
It's a stellar cast. I mean, that cast is so great. I love Sam Rockwell, and I'll see anything that guy does. And what's not to love
John Cena.
Yeah, you got Cena in there. You got
Sam Jackson,
Cavill again with a weird flat top haircut.
Yeah.
Sam Jackson.
Dua Lipa's in there.
What's his name? Bryan Cranston's in there.
Oh yeah, Bryan Cranston. Yeah,
it's a killer stand.
The main actress.
Bryce
Dallas Howard.
Howard.
Yeah.
So, she's great. Yeah.
It looks very Romancing the Stone kind of vibe.
It does. Yeah. I mean, I just by watching the trailer, I was like, I'll catch it. Maybe. You know.
Yeah,
I'm not excited about it or anything.
Someone I know was making a guess. It's like Argyle's probably the cat, and I was like, no, they wouldn't do that. But I mean,
if they go full Garfield with it,
yeah, I'd be like, better not be
the cat's the spy.
Because that one.
You know what? It does kind of feel like that trailer was going that way.
That would be awesome.
The real Agent Argyle.
And then it's voiced by like Chris Pratt or something.
It would always be.
Hey. But we'll see how that. I mean, like I'll try to check it out this weekend too if I can.
But yeah, I'd love me some Matthew Vaughn. So.
Oh yeah, but
Matthew Vaughn's great.
No, I was about to say Seven Psychopaths. Is that him? No, that's not him. That's someone else. I blanking on his name. Somebody else.
And you recently watched Masters of the Universe, right? Completed the...
So the latest season of Masters of the Universe Revolution, which is the sequel to Masters of the Universe Revelation, dropped on Netflix, and it's only 5 episodes.
Oh, really? Is that a full season, or is that part 1 or something?
You know, it feels like complete season.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. It's a very complete story.
There's no like cliffhanger at the end.
There is a cliffhanger ending.
Okay.
So maybe there is more coming down the line.
How long are the episodes?
30 minutes.
Oh, really? Okay.
That's pretty good.
All right.
Yeah. But I feel like there was definitely some backlash after the last show.
Yeah.
Didn't do as well. You know, I think everyone saw the first half, the first 5 episodes of that first season were watched a lot, but then there was a lot of backlash because it was very Tila heavy. And then the second half was very He-Man heavy. Yeah. This is very He-Man heavy. It's a lot of, Adam growing up, kind of taking on the role of like, does he choose to be a prince or the champion?
Yeah.
So that's a big decision he has to make through the course of the show.
Well, if you think about it, it really works out because the first season, Tila grows up and she finally takes her place as the sorceress. Yeah. And now it's his turn to make that choice. I don't know what happens, but obviously he's got to decide if he wants to be king or if he's going to be
exactly. Which way is he going to go? And you get the emergence of Hordak as the big bad kind of this season. Skeletor becomes
played by Tony Todd, right? Was that him?
Keith David.
Oh, Keith David. Yeah.
Yeah, Keith David's doing the voice. Tony Todd is the voice of Scareglow.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, nice.
That's what it was.
Nice. Which he gets to come back.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, for this season. You get some more like. It's interesting because they delve more into technology because the last season was about magic in the world.
Yeah.
And the disappearance of magic, and this one is, Eternia. Prior to learning about magic was a very tech-based society, and they kind of got rid of tech and went more towards magic. So now you got these Hordak and his technology and these nanobots and everything coming in.
Also, the voice of Motherboard is Evelyn from the live-action film.
Yeah.
And I heard
Megan Foster's in there. Yeah.
I've heard that they made the movie canon now in this show. Is that true?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how much you guys want to hear.
I mean,
no, it's fine. I don't care. Go ahead.
It's all right if
you do get Gwildor.
Oh, what?
Oh, okay.
You get some Gwildor in there.
Oh,
nice.
Because Adam's like, hey, Orko, you got to go see my old buddy Gwildor.
Who do you know who does his voice?
I don't actually know. No.
Does it sound like
Yeah. Okay. They do a great job with it though.
Oh, that's
so
awesome.
It was kind of neat to see Gwildor in animated form.
No one told me you have musical keys of this nature.
Cosmic keys.
Cosmic keys. He-Man. Oh man,
I always like that movie, man.
Yeah.
I can't on people hate on it so much. I like it.
I mean, it's got its downsides, but Frank Langella sells it.
Yeah,
He sells it.
Exactly,
that's all
man.
That's all you need. That and Gwildor.
Because no one told him that was not a serious role.
No.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah.
He also wrote some of his own lines for that, and I was like, yeah,
damn right.
Yeah. And he did it because his kid loved He-Man at the time too. And he says to this day that it's his favorite film he's done.
He's great.
So,
fantastic.
I think it's great. I think he's an awesome Skeletor.
Yeah,
awesome. And when they had that fight at the end, and He-Man grabs a sword. He's, oh yeah, I have the power.
Why don't you have that sword, Stan? You got a stupid Stark sword, but you don't have He-Man's power sword.
What's up with that, dude?
Yeah,
I'm such a jackass.
Yeah, man.
I should get that sword.
Mm-hmm. That's a good one.
I would love to get hit the Skeletor staff. That'd be cool.
Oh, the Havoc staff?
Yeah, that's great staff. I have the power. And then you fucking... and he says it for no reason. I love it.
No, that was the one thing. He never changed into Prince Adam.
Yeah.
And it was always just like...
they didn't do that part of it. Yeah,
no.
And they definitely... It was an interesting take on it because they're like rebels fighting Skeletor. It was very like Star Wars, like, you know...
That would have been great, like, as a reveal, like, or like, you know, like when Skeletor takes the power sword from him on Earth, if he becomes Adam again.
Oh yeah, that would have been a great moment to do that.
You don't show Adam till that bit.
True. Yeah,
that would have been great.
That would have been really good. Is there an actor of that 80s,
mid 80s,
could play the Prince Adam part if he did turn into him?
Ooh, I'd have to look into that.
Christian Slater.
Okay. Christian Slater.
He would have been young and skinny.
What about
That's interesting. Yeah.
I think the movie's Cat People. The main. He was in Charmed. He was like the angel. I forget his name, but he. Oh my god.
The angel in Charmed.
I know he turned into a cat in Cat People, but God damn it. I don't. But I think he would be a good fit. He's got blonde hair, and I want to say he was the dad in Smallville. He was Kent.
Oh,
like a young that actor. I'm blanking on his blanking, not his name. It's not his name.
Well, anyway,
sorry about that, Rand.
Yeah, we'll just recast 1980s movies.
1980s.
I love it.
But yeah, so I'm excited for. I'm excited to see what that's like. I'll check it out.
It's good. I will say, I mean, it's really quick, 5 episodes, so I think you'll binge it.
You're not going to check it out. Don't lie.
I'll give it a shot.
You got to finish. You got to finish the first season.
Yeah, the first season is important to finish.
Yeah, you got to know what's going on.
And I'd say that last half of that first season is very good.
You're going to like it.
All right.
Yeah. It's very He-Man heavy.
I gave it a shot, and I was like, I'm not sure what's happening here. I'll come back to it.
And I feel that's the way a lot of people thought about it, unfortunately. And, you know.
I just, there just wasn't a lot of things in there that made a ton of sense. And I was like, I'll come back to it. And then I just didn't. That's never a good sign. You know, when I'm watching something, I was like, I'll come back to this. Not a good sign. But
it's funny, like the characters they set up in that first arc, like the Andrea character.
Oh yeah.
She is barely in this new season. Like she's like, kind of like, hey, how you doing?
Okay. Well, I understood. Like after a while, I was like, okay, she's playing like a form of us, the audience, where we're thrown into this. For the people who aren't familiar with Masters of the Universe,
right?
There's like, okay, we're learning through her because she's going to be asking questions to them. Yeah, and I was like, okay, fine.
But I think by season 2, they realized like, oh, no one who's watching this show hasn't watched the original.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. So
you don't need that really.
No, you didn't. Yeah, you didn't need to really fill in the blanks there anymore.
Cool.
But yeah. No, I'm down to watch it. Mark Hamill does a great job.
Always.
Yeah,
okay. he's back as Skeletor.
Skeletor.
He's great, and they actually delve a lot into Skeletor's past and his mindset and where he's coming from. And yeah, it's really cool actually.
They have him like his when they do like his flashbacks. Is he a human being or is he like?
No,
Skeletor?
He's because. At least I've seen in the 2003 series, he was named Keldor beforehand, and he's like this elven, like dark elf type of guy, and he's sort of related to King Randor.
It's all explained.
Yeah, it's probably explained in this one too. But yeah,
all right. If you guys recommend it, I'll check it out. I'll check it out.
Do it.
Nice. And then we had Millie Alcock, who was just announced as a new.
Sorry,
Supergirl.
what was that?
What's her name?
Millie Alcock.
You pull out your what now? Oh.
Millie Alcock. She was on Dance of the Dragons.
Yes.
Red House.
She
Roadhouse. Red House. No, because the House of Dragons. Isn't it red or no? Am I just making that up? Am I?
You're talking about the Red Keep.
The Red Keep. I guess.
House of the Dragon.
Yeah, I'm saying House of the Dragon, but I was just going Red House, Roadhouse.
The Red Keep is the main church in Westeros.
Yeah. Red House.
Which, by the way, that Roadhouse trailer looks great. That new Roadhouse movie.
I did see that. We can talk about that. Yeah, but just putting it out there, Supergirl was announced at Supergirl. Millie Alcock was announced as the new Supergirl. Mm-hmm. That's her name.
Yeah.
Stop laughing at it.
I'm not laughing at it.
And so yeah, it's interesting. I think she did a great job on House of the Dragon. I love that series.
Yeah.
Do you think she's going to be going to school already?
What do you mean? As
well, because there's different versions of her where she crashes to the planet, or she's been there.
From what I've been hearing, they're doing the story is the Woman of Tomorrow story, which is from like 2017ish, where it's Supergirl is in another galaxy. Like, she's not on Earth.
Oh, okay.
She's actually like doing a mission on another planet, kind of thing.
Does she already have her powers?
She does. Yeah, she's selling the Supergirl outfit.
Oh, okay.
But it's what is Supergirl when she's not around Superman? Like, she doesn't have his reputation to back her up, right? Because she's now in parts of the universe where they're like, yeah, I don't care if you're Supergirl. What does that even mean?
Yeah.
And it's more of her dealing with the trauma of being a survivor of Krypton explosion, right? Like she was a teenager when that planet exploded already. Yeah. So she has that trauma, while Kal-El grew up, in Kansas family, with no real idea about it. And she's like, no, I watched my whole family explode.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
So it's a real interesting storyline. I think it's written by Tom King.
Oh, nice.
The book. And I think you can get it as a graphic novel. And that's the story they're going to take for the movie.
Cool.
That's what I...
Click on our link to get a percentage off the graphic novel. We're not sponsored yet, folks, but not yet. You could help us. You could get us
Just
there.
make up a code. It's a Nerdom 10%.
10% off.
See if it works. It won't. But see if it works.
Yeah, it definitely won't. Did you guys watch the Supergirl series that just released?
Yeah, I liked it. I loved it a lot. I thought...
check it out.
What's her name? Melissa Benoit.
Yeah.
Was a fantastic Supergirl. I thought she did a really great job. That show had a lot of issues. Like, it was first on CBS the first season, and they put a lot of money on it. It got canceled, moved to the CW. I think its budget got slashed, and it moved from filming in LA originally to filming up in Vancouver, where they film all the Arrowverse films. Shows were filmed up there. So you can definitely tell there's some money gone by second season, but that's when it gets really interesting. They dealt with a lot more social issues. It dealt with what does it mean for immigration. Of course, they were like aliens, and they're talking about like, well, all these aliens are coming to Earth, like, but they're undocumented kind of thing. And she was like a champion for these undocumented aliens. Okay. So it's. I thought the show did really well.
Okay,
awesome. Yeah, I also I know I don't have any problem with the 1984 Supergirl movie.
Oh yeah,
I watched it as a kid. I think it's pretty good.
Yeah,
they took some chances with it.
It doesn't really stand up, but it
doesn't. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of been forgotten late nowadays, but I liked it as a kid. I always thought it was a good movie.
What's her name? Helen Slater was a great choice as Supergirl. I
think they've been doing some really good casting choices with a Supergirl.
Yeah,
even the actress from the Flash movie. She
was
great.
I feel bad that she's not getting another bite of that apple, because she was great.
She was really good. I'd watch a movie just
Sasha Clara? Sasha
something.
Clara?
Yeah. Sasha Callie?
Yes.
Like, I don't know how to say her last name. Yeah.
But
I liked her in that movie. I think she was the brightest spot in that movie. Yeah. Next to Keaton. But I'd watch a whole movie with just her as Supergirl.
And yet again, there was an idea to keep her on, like like they said, with the million different versions. They ended that movie with her in there with Flash too. But
you were just talking about that graphic novel that she's dealing with all these issues, seeing her home planet blow up, and I think she really embodied that in the Flash movie.
Yeah,
that actress. So this struggle and this tortured kind of soul. I thought it was really well done.
Yeah.
It's a lot of good stuff coming out. We'll keep you updated. Things that come out, we'll be definitely watching a lot of TV shows, movies this coming year. Hopefully we'll do another con soon.
Play some more games. I know we've been lacking in that area, but I'm going to try to hop in and better. I know we just had a state of play for PlayStation. I'll be watching that. Just to, even though it's already happened, I'll just have to watch it and we could talk about it, next time as well.
Dope. Awesome. You got anything else, Watson?
No, man. I'm excited to see what's coming out. Like I said, we've got Super Bowl around the corner, so we'll see a lot of new trailers and stuff being dropped there. We're definitely going to do some more talk about gaming. I think, we're just excited to see what's coming down the road. Bring
back some more of our Rain Bros-esque thing, and any new graphic novels coming out.
Oh, yeah. And, of course, the biggest movie of this year is coming out just in a couple of weeks. We've got Madam Web.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll probably do a full...
I'll read the book.
Yeah.
I'll do the book.
Yeah, I might be going to that. Yeah.
So we'll hear Stan's full report.
Oh yeah, if I stay awake,
yeah. There we go.
I'll make sure to let everybody know what it's like.
I mean, I'll see it just to. Cause I saw Morbius. I have to see this now.
Well, it's part of the same universe, right? No. So you got.
And then Craven's coming.
Understand?
How am I going to understand Craven if I haven't seen Madam Web?
And then of course we got Venom 3 as well coming out this year.
Which is just out of left field. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, I don't even know what that's going to be.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
Fight another big goo monster, I guess.
Yeah, where you can't tell who's who. I love it.
I mean, it was
more
better,
goo versus goo.
It was better with 2 with Carnage because they're different colors. But
right.
I mean, they could do more of the Carnage family with the.
But they didn't even make Carnage look that much different.
No,
it wasn't.
Yeah,
you kind of had to squint, like who's who there?
Like they didn't give him his black veiny lines and stuff.
Even like his size. Like Carnage in the books is always kind of like a skinny, skinny version of Venom, and Venom's the big buff beast, and they just made him the same size.
Same size.
Yeah. Anyway, so Spider-Man movie's coming out.
And so the next episode we should have Fred Decker. Knock on wood. He has confirmed, and I can't wait to talk to him about some of the movies that shaped my childhood.
Nice.
Can't wait.
And then you're gonna learn all the nooks and crannies of your favorite films, and you're just gonna write about it in your blog that you got. You're gonna be starting your blog. Your new hot blog that you're gonna be.
Oh yeah. I'm starting a blog.
All right, you don't have to start a blog. I was trying.
Where are you going with that?
I thought you were talking about LAX Files. I was like, that's not a blog.
Oh, speaking of LAX Files,
what?
I mean, I've heard about this podcast. What's it about again?
Podcast. I have my own podcast called LAX Files, and I speak to people that help shape Los Angeles. What are you laughing about?
No,
you told me to pitch something. Now you're laughing.
It's awkward segue.
No, it was the shittiest segue I've ever done, and I'm just laughing.
Wow,
at that.
Just throw that bus off the bridge there.
Throw that bus off that bridge.
Well, that's a good term to keep.
Yeah. LAX Files. I talk to people about the people who, places, events, history that has shaped LA and made it what it is. I just recently had Sam Nelson on, who was the son of Ricky Nelson, the pop star, and he talks about his life growing up in that environment, that family. We get pretty deep into it. So check it out. LAX Files, Spotify as well.
Nice.
All right, that ends another episode of Enter the Nerdom. Obviously, if you already are following, please share, spread us around
like a virus.
Yes. Oh well, not
a nice virus.
A good virus. A good virus.
And I don't know if there are any good viruses, but yes.
I mean, there's
good bacteria.
Penicillin.
That's bacteria.
That's bacteria. Yeah. I mean, the T virus. That's always a good one. It's entertaining to watch.
That's true.
There you go.
That's true. I wouldn't want it.
No, I mean, well, if I get to turn into something cool, that'd be cool. Like mutate.
Though.
I mean, how do you know? You don't know. You don't know. You don't know.
Probably mutate into like a frog or something like that.
Just end up with like a giant eye in your ass or something. Exactly. You're like,
if anything, I'll make sure I'm wearing a bulletproof vest so I'm harder to kill. So I'm just like, whatever monster. Like, sorry, bud. I died in the right circumstance. Okay, anyway. Thank you for making it to the end, and we'll see you next time. And as we always say, enter the nerddom, exit the segue that was poorly made by myself.
Throw that bus off that bridge.
Throw that bus off the bridge. Whee!